Hey guys, so for today's video, I'm going to be doing some school advice for you guys because I asked on Twitter when you guys are going back to school because I have no idea and it's different for everybody. So I decided to put something on Twitter and you guys let me know. Some of you, at least all of you, are going back before my calendar's still on July. Mostly all of you are going back after the 17th, so I decided to make this video now because next week, which is the week of the 10th,
right? Yeah.
I'm going to be away at the beach with my best friend Sierra, and I know you guys somewhat know of her on my Instagram and my Twitter, but I haven't made a video with her yet, but I want to, and I want you guys to meet her, and honestly, we are two peas in a pod, we are hilarious. But once I'm down at the beach, I'm going to be making a video down there. Mostly vlog videos is what I'm pretty sure what they're going to be. It'll be easier. I don't really have a true concept on what video I want to do, so it's probably going to be vlogs. You guys like my new background? I made a tie-dye tapestry, which is going to be a video coming up soon, just some DIY tie-dye. I decided to make this tapestry just to make it more summery, and I don't know, I just really like it, and I just needed something new in my room. For now, this is just gonna be the background video, and I think you guys seen the other one before. It's my blue and green one. I have it over there near my makeup area, which once it's starting to be like the fall, winter time, I think I'll just change this one to that one just because that's more wintry. So I wanted to do that. So I'll just stop talking about random things that pop up in my head, and let's get on to the school advice video.
Oh, school! Yay, school! Oh, this is great. I have a lot of good advice actually, so don't judge me.
How I broke it up, I just decided to do every school year, and my little bit of advice and some tips. I'm also gonna do an overall advice just for anybody going back to school because I like doing that too. So my first advice is for the fresh me.
Just kidding. That's really mean. And I hated being called that. I'm so sorry.
So for my first advice, it's for the freshmen. Now this is your first year in high school. No more middle school, no more stupid relationships, no more just middle school all in general. No more having to put everything in your locker and having to carry it around with you, just books and just having to overflow with books. That's how it was in my middle school. You're stepping on up into freshman year, 9th grade. You should feel great. You should feel awesome. 4 more years and you're out of there. So for freshmen, my first tip is to go to orientation. That's probably the biggest tip I can ever give to freshmen, underclassmen on their first year of high school. High school's tough, I'm gonna say that, and by going to orientation, that's gonna help you so much more on where your classes are. You get to meet your teachers, you can do a whole route of what you want to do when you have to go in between classes and get different books or like binders and stuff like that. I knew so many of my friends that didn't go to orientation their freshman year, and on the first day they were completely lost. They had nowhere to go, they had no idea where to go, they didn't know what they were doing. So if you go to orientation and you know where your classes are because you already have your class list with you, so you should bring that with you on orientation. What I decided to do was go to my homeroom class, and I would start there, and then usually my locker is around that area, so I knew that I was safe with that. I went ahead and went to my homeroom, and then I looked at my first class list, and then I looked on my map and saw where it was, and then I just went on over to that class and seen how far it would take me if I had to go get books or if I had to go do it before then. It was a really great way to keep organized and safe around the school. My second tip is learn your schedule. Learn your schedule before even school starts. You'll know exactly where you're going and you won't look like one of those lost freshmen that every school has on the first day. My third tip is don't think someone's gonna push you in your locker the first day. I know a lot of you see that in movies, and honestly some of my friends were a little scared about that happening on the first day of school, which I think is kind of hilarious. No one's gonna ever push you into a locker, and if they do, just go tell a teacher, go tell a principal, like, just go tell somebody. Don't let them keep doing it. Sorry. And my last tip for the little freshmen, I think you should take as many classes as you need to. There's a certain recommendation for how many classes you need during your whole high school career and how many credits that you need. I know you need like 4 history, 3 science, 3 math, like something like that. And once that adds up during your senior year, you don't have to take so many classes your senior year. So if you take as many as you want or as many as you need and you don't have any study halls at all, yes, it's going to be a busy year, but I'd rather have a busy year than sitting in study hall and doing nothing all year. Alright, now we're moving on to the sophomore. And it's probably a really big relief because for my first tip, you're not a freshman anymore. Finally not a freshman, and you won't get tossed around the hallways and not know where you're going, because now you know around the school and you know some of the teachers and you know more of your friends. So on the first day it's going to be great and you're a sophomore, you're in 10th grade. But there's also some downfalls about being a sophomore. It's to be said that sophomore year is your hardest year. And some people agree and some people disagree. Some people disagree because they think it's your junior year because you have to take all these PSSAs and like keystones and all that kind of stuff. But I'm saying as sophomore year is your hardest year because that's when you start to realize sometimes, or a little bit, who your real friends are and who aren't. Sophomore year was so unbelievably tough for me. You have no idea. And the only reason behind that was because that's when I started to make my YouTube videos. And that's when I was more in my music video phase. So once I started putting that out, more people started to notice them and more people started to watch them. And I got bullied a lot for them, especially by the mean people. And I would go into class and they would make fun of the things that I said in the video, and they would just think that I had no life and no friends because I was talking to a camera all the time. But then years went by and, you know, then they realized that my YouTube started getting bigger and I started getting more fans and more likes and more views and all that. And then years went by and they're like, oh, can I be in one of your videos? Like, we're friends, right? And all I have to do is this. Like, why in the world would you think that I would let you in one of my videos when you made fun of them so bad? Never ever let someone be your friend that you know has already made fun of you or was mean to you before. Never. Like, you know what they're capable of, and you know if you do something wrong to them that they're just gonna keep making fun of you. So that's why 10th grade was my hardest year. I only have 3 tips for sophomore year, and my third and last tip is to join as many clubs or activities and sports as you can. I was a cheerleader for 14 years, and I also did soccer, but that was more in elementary school, but I was still like fit and skinny during that. School was over and no one was in sports anymore, and I haven't seen like some people in a long time. I noticed that they kind of fooled out. They fooled out. That's what I want to say. And they joined activities and groups like FFA or like some other things that FFA is the only one that's in my head. I never did it. Honor Society, well, you have to be into that. Just do stuff, alright? Just do stuff. We're moving on into junior year. One more year of this.
Well, 2. Counting junior year and then senior year, so 2.
But one more year and then you're out of there. Like, by now you should know most of your teachers, you should pretty much know who your set friends are, you should be really good in your sports or your activities or clubs that you're doing. And this year, honestly, it can be hard because colleges are starting to look at your schooling, and you're gonna have to put that into colleges, and you have to take your PSSAs or your keystones, whatever your school's doing. So that was my first tip. It's almost senior year, like you're so close, you're almost top dog. You can do it. You can get there. For my second tip is to don't slack around. You don't want to slack around and you don't want to be mean to your teachers, and just do your homework, get your stuff done. You have one more year, like you can do this, I promise. It's like, it's a year, you got it, like you got it. Just don't slack around, just get your stuff done. And your teachers won't hate you, and they won't keep hounding you to get your stuff done and try to keep your grade up. My third tip is to go to school as much as possible. My junior year, I had perfect attendance, which is
awesome.
I don't even know how I had perfect attendance, honestly. Whatever. If you're feeling okay to go to school, at least go to school and go for the half a day or leave early if you're really not feeling great. I know that I did that a few times my senior year because I wasn't feeling the greatest in the morning, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go, see how I am during the day, and then by 12 o'clock I was like, no, okay, I can't do this. But usually by 12 o'clock they make that as a full day that you were there. So it just depends how your school is, but just go to school as much as possible. Don't just skip just to skip.
This video's gonna be so long.
My last and fourth tip for junior year, plan on what you're going to be doing after high school. You should honestly be planning on what you're doing after high school in even freshman or sophomore year. Like if you're really determined on what you want to do, you can already be thinking ahead. Finally, we're on to senior year, last year of high school, then you're out of there. Like, oh my goodness, like you are top dog. You know where you're going, what to do, how to get in trouble, but let's not hope you get in trouble. You know how to get past the teachers, you know the teachers, you know which ones you like, which ones you don't like, and this year should be a complete breeze for you. So my first tip is that you shouldn't have to take so many classes your senior year. My senior year, I decided to take a math class, which was trigonometry, which I wanted to do for myself just to make myself smarter and make myself know more about math because math is not my strong suit. So I decided to do that, but I only had 2 core classes my senior year, which you usually should have 4 or 5, and I only had 2. I had trigonometry and sociology and psychology. Sociology and psychology were 1. It was just split in 2 semesters. I only had to worry about those 2 core classes, and I was good. I had nothing to worry about. My senior year was so great. By senior year, you should know who your friends are, who you don't like, who you like, what teachers you like, who you don't like, ones you can say sayonara to, and ones you can cry over. And I mean, it's either a blessing or a blessing, and so that's how you have to go for it. I still talk to a lot of friends from high school nowadays, but usually the people in your class, you're never gonna see them again. And I know that's really like hard to say, and like you're like, ugh, like that kind of hit me in the chest. But you're not. Like, you'll meet new friends if you go to college or work somewhere, and that's life. Like, that happens. And I stayed in touch with a lot of my friends, and I'm glad that I'm friends with them. And I'm still friends with them, but you know, they might move, I might move, like things happen. Like, you never know. So stay with as many friends as you can during your high school years, because that's the moments that you look for. My third tip, don't have as many free periods, like study halls or breaks or something like that. Just take as many electives as you can, because that just makes your senior year, again, a breeze. I mean, if you don't want to do that much, you can have 5 study halls in a row. I'm not stopping you, but that's really boring to me. At least having 1 study hall would be good, because if it's in the morning, you can get all your homework done if you forgot to do it that night, or if it's during the end of the day, then you can start on your homework that you got in that class. So it's really nice to have at least 1 study hall. I know some people don't like them at all. I know some people love them. I like having at least 1 just to, you know, break out during the day of school, because it's 7 hours. That's a lot of time. Now just for my overall, all-in-all advice. Do your homework, go to school, be nice to everyone, take as many notes as possible in all your classes just so that you know exactly what you're doing. Ask questions, anything you need to do just so that you can pass that class. This part is more for the freshmen, but I mean, you can honestly take it as in for every year. Don't buy all your binders and your notepads and your pencils and your cases and your erasers and your markers and your Sharpies and your books and your everything before school. The first day of school, I took nothing to school except a notepad and a pencil, and then everything that they give you on the first day of school, like your planner and like all these notes that you have to take to give home to your parents, and they sign them and you bring it back and blah, blah, blah. Because after every class, right before the bell was about to ring, I would raise my hand and say, what do we need for this class? Do we need a binder? Do we need a notebook? Do we need loose paper? Do we need a ruler? Do we need anything? And I would ask that in every single class I had, and then I would write it down, and then people would be like,
oh, I would have got the wrong thing. It's like, well, why didn't you ask? Well, why am I the one asking? It's really bright. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
So ask that, like, before school, why would you buy all these things and then you'll go into class like, oh, you don't need a binder for this class, you just need a folder. You got an extra binder that you didn't even need that you wasted $6 on. So that is my biggest tip for every year, honestly, because you don't need all these things. So then once the first or second day goes by and you know that you don't need all these things, because usually the first week or first 3 days of school you're not gonna do anything, you're not gonna learn anything. Only if your school really hates you, and that really sucks bad. Like, I feel sorry for you. You don't do anything at least your first 3 days of school. So once you have everything that you need, like your folders and your binders and your pencils, go ahead and go to Walmart. You don't need to spend that much money on binders and folders to make them look cute. Like, use duct tape. Like, put duct tape on them. Like, what the heck? There's nothing wrong with that. Go ahead and buy your binders and your folders at least the second or third day of school at the end of the day, and then you'll be set. You didn't over purchase things and you'll know exactly what you need. I brought a folder, one folder to every class, and that was my homework folder. Every homework that I did was in a piece of paper. I would put that in my folder, and then once I went home, all I needed was that folder, and I would just take it home with me and have my book, and that's all I needed. That was really nice, and that's a really good tip that I should tell you guys, because that honestly helps me a lot. If you have to catch a bus or you have to drive, like, make sure you have enough time during the morning that you can get ready and then be on time for school and like be able to like settle down and like be ready for the day. Or if you have to catch a ride with a friend, like let them know like what time you want to pick me up or this and that, and so you can be ready, they can pick you up and everything, and you'll just be golden. And my last tip, try to make at least one friend in each of your classes. If you make one friend in at least one of your classes, then you're gonna be good. You're always gonna have somebody to talk to in your classes. I know in a few of them I had like no one to talk to and I was always by myself, but then I would just, you know, randomly be in conversations or something like that. But it's really nice to have a friend in at least one of your classes, because then you know you're not alone and you have someone by your side to talk to here and there. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I took so much time to write everything down that I wanted to tell you guys and give you all this advice so you can soak it all up and be ready for school this year. I'm really excited for you guys to start school, because who doesn't love education?
No takers? Oh, this is awkward. Okay. Wow, that was really dumb. I don't care. I'm gonna put it in the video anyways.
So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great school year, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!